Welcome back into Tapped Out here on the BetQL Network with Brendan Tobin. I am Sean Levine, and let's just get to it because we got the man Thug Nasty himself, Bryce Mitchell. Hey, I saw you had those bloody drill bit shorts up. Does anybody actually want those nasty ass things? Like, are you actually getting people to make an offer and stuff for that?
Oh no, I've washed them and used them. Like they're not for sale. They're a pair of my current being used underwear.
You're still using those,
They're
bro?
still in the lineup,
No way.
dude.
Absolutely. Why would you waste a good pair?
It's not time to get rid of that pair of underwear. When the hell is it time to get rid of a pair of skivvies?
Well, brother, they're gonna run their natural course, and I like them.
Bryce, so you did after your last fight the donation, the call out to your community. What a cool thing, man! Like watching the behind the scenes of that and seeing you get to do that stuff in your hometown. Like, what did it mean to finally get that moment? Like you said you were gonna do it. You coming through like to have that interaction with the kids, to see like your dollars go to work. What did that mean to you?
Oh man, it was the coolest thing I've ever done. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna keep doing it, and I just believe it's part of my destiny, part of my purpose here on this planet. And I believe that will be talked about long after I'm gone. People will remember that.
I know that you're Arkansas through and through. Would there ever be any plans to leave Arkansas and maybe like join a bigger camp and train somewhere else?
Nope. I'm staying here. The big camps are going to come to me. You watch. They'll come to me.
This particular matchup, Bryce, against Ilia, it's a replacement fight. He's talking a big game going into this. What have you made about, some of the things that he said going into it? And was there ever a part of you that wasn't going to go with this matchup? Because, you just had this big win over Edson Barbosa. It was kind of like your arrival as a true contender. Was there ever any hesitancy to even take this fight?
I mean, it was a fight that was offered, and they told me that they weren't going to find me another fight if I didn't take it. So, I mean, I was pretty much forced into this fight, and that's fine with me. And I like when he talks crap. It makes me feel a lot better about going in there to hurt him because now I know that he truly deserves it.
This isn't the first time, Bryce, I've heard you say you took this fight because you just wanted to fight. It's been a while. Is it starting to get frustrating that they have you by the balls that you can't make more of these decisions on your own?
I mean, that's just part of it, brother. I mean, you sign up to be a UFC fighter, you're going to fight who they tell you to, and you're going to have zero say unless you're somebody important. And I'm not too important unless if you ask those two guys over there, they probably think I'm important, but nobody else does.
But you have to know, Bryce, like aside from that, people have been excited watching you fight. And you know how this works. Like, it's not only, just the way that you fight and that you being a good fighter, you win your fights, you're entertaining. People care about watching you fight. So do you feel like it's that far off, maybe superstardom? Because people love your personality. They love your persona, what you're about. So do you feel like in maybe a year's time, like you're going to be one of those guys who's going to be the shot callers?
Maybe. We'll see, brother. But, this is all about, for me, just fulfilling a childhood dream of being the best fighter that I can be, being the best martial artist that I can be. I love going in there and performing to the best of my ability. There's nothing that gives me a better sense of satisfaction. So that's what it's about for me. And the good thing about that is that all that other just don't matter. I'm worried about my health. I'm worried about my skill. I'm not worried about the people watching because I just feel like I can't control that. That's not something that I need to worry about.
Talking with Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell here, fighting Ilia Topuria on Saturday night. I've seen some of your crazy training methods, some of those crazy videos back in Arkansas, and I'm not too far from you, brother. I'm here in Kansas City, so I know that kind of neck of the woods. I've been out to Arkansas many, many a time. Beautiful country out there. What's like the craziest training thing that you do that's not, what other people do?
Well, I wrestle cows and bulls and stuff, so that'd be my craziest thing. I got a bull named Twister, and I'll put him in a front headlock, and he picks me up and kind of throws me around a little bit, but he's really, really nice. He's a sweetheart of a bull, and I just love Twister. But that's probably my craziest training regimen because he could definitely kill me if he wanted to.
So it's like your version of Khabib and the Bear. You're taking on a thing, but it could actually gore you. I mean, like that's the scary part of it, Bryce. You got to be careful with those horns.
Yeah, that bull could you up,
Well said.
He's really nice, and he actually likes to play. And it scares my old lady because she'll be like, "Why are you doing that? He's gonna trample you or whatever." And she wants to watch when I'm doing it, just so if like he like steps on me or something, she can drag me out of there.
The thing I gotta say, Bryce, the thing when I was watching the behind the scenes in the lead up, I've seen, some farm life, and things like that. But the thing that I thought was like the rawest, the coolest thing I've never seen anybody eat an egg from the tap. I mean, you took it right out of that chicken's, you know what, and you go shell and all, dude. Like, what were you doing this at like 5 years old? Like, when did you decide, you know what, we're not wasting time with cracking the egg open. We're not even going Rocky style. We're going Thug Nasty style, and we're taking shell and all. No cooking.
Yeah, I started that pretty recently, and I started farming probably about 5 years ago with chickens and just growing stuff out in the yard. But all this stuff is new to me, and I'm just having fun learning what I can. And I do believe in 15, 20 years that people will forget all about me fighting, and then I'll just be Farm Boy Mitchell. Farmer Mitchell is all they'll know me as. They'll forget about my fighting days, and because I'm going to be that good at farming. So I'm looking forward to that chapter of my life.
But what made you like? At what point do you take the egg out of your beautiful chicken and you say, "We'll skip the steps here. Let me just see what this is like."
Well, the thing is that shell is a vital source of calcium. So as a fighter, you got to have strong bones. You're always going bone to bone. So if your bones are a little bit stronger, maybe theirs will break and yours won't. You're always taking punches in your face, and hopefully that little bit of calcium helps keep my face from breaking or keeps my hand from re-breaking. So I think the little bit of calcium could help. It certainly won't hurt. And the raw eggs, they have a little bit different mineral and vitamin content, and so it's good for you to switch it up for your diet. There's a bunch of stuff that we might think is crazy, but food doesn't have to taste good. You know what I mean? That's just luxury. That's just luxury. This idea we have that your food has to taste good. No, it don't. It's when I eat for a fight, I'm purely eating for the content of the food, the nutritional content, not because it tastes good or whatever.
Farmer Bryce joining us here on Tapped Out. Is there anything nastier that you've eaten that you can think of off the top of your head than the egg straight from the chicken?
I started eating ants. Like if I see ants, I'll eat them. I know probably people think that's crazy, but I get a lot of ants on my jars of honey. Like when I put the lid on the jar of honey, there's always
Sure.
ants on it. I started just eating ants, and I've been kind of antsy ever since. But
It's okay. All right. Good one on that. Well played, Bryce. Well played. Do you cook these things, or do you just put them right in the mouth?
the ants, oh yeah, you just swipe them and eat them like that. Like if I find ants crawling around on my jars of honey, I just swipe them and eat them.
Oh,
Beautiful.
goodness
Well said.
gracious. Bryce Mitchell joining us here on Tapped Out. By the way, Brendan, you were talking about, the farm life. You're down there in Miami. What do you know about the farm
Dude,
life?
I
What do you
grew
know
up on
about
a horse farm. What are you talking? Listen, he doesn't.
You grew up on a horse farm?
You've known me for like a year, Sean. I grew up on a horse farm. I know about that stuff. I know about baling hay and things like that. Now, not like raw chickens and all that. Like I see the beautiful things you're doing with the cows, Bryce. Like that's real farming. It's not like the glamour rich people farming that's doing to make sure their racehorses are okay. But I know a little bit about it. Nothing like salt of the earth though, like Bryce is doing. He's doing like the real stuff. And the farming life looks beautiful on you. Like you seem to like genuinely enjoy it. Like how much you seem to enjoy, making your cows, take care of them. I see you're like spoiling them with the corn and all that. That generally seems to bring you happiness.
Yeah, absolutely. And I take good care of all my animals, and I'm just getting started at it. There's so much that I have no clue of, but I know that I can grow watermelons and whatnot. So there's some stuff that I know that I could do, and that I've learned. I know I can grow okra. In fact, I can grow okra just as good as anybody else in the world. And the thing about it is, like, okra is the poor man can compete. There's not a rich guy out there with a damn machine that can grow okra better than me. You know what I mean? Because he's just got to hire hands to pick it all day. That's the thing. It's like with okra, the poor man can compete. There's not a way to mass produce it and have a machine. You have to have a person like me go through and pick every single okra pod by hand. There's not a machine that can. And so with hard work and determination and a little bit of skill and knowledge, I can grow okra with the best of them.
How does a dude from Arkansas that knows he wants to be a farmer end up in the biggest fight promotion in the world? Like, is this something you always wanted to do?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I kind of had a dream of doing MMA, but there wasn't really weight classes my size, and I thought that I'd never get the opportunity. And then all my other sports didn't work out, so I started wrestling and doing MMA locally, and just really loved it.
Bryce,
And really, my is what made it all possible.
sorry to cut you off there, Bryce. From we talked a little bit about earlier about you kind of got to just do what they give you, but you know, you win this fight. I know you guys like to stay in the moment, but like, what contender in featherweight would really tickle your fancy, like to be the fight that really gets you into title contention? Is it an Ortega? Is it somebody or Calvin Kattar? Like, who in this division would you really like to square up against and show like, hey, this shows I'm arrived, and you got to get me to a title soon?
I really don't even care. It's just whoever they give me. I think they're all good fights. They're all dangerous fights, and I really don't want to call nobody out because I just don't care to. I'll fight whoever they tell me to, and hopefully that after this fight, I will be on track for a title shot.
You mentioned wrestling with Twister the Bull. Did he get his name after you put old boy in a twister?
Yeah, that's why we named him Twister, because of that moment.
What a great name for a bull. Speaking of the twister finish, when you get into these fights, do you have any sort of a vision of the way that you're going to finish? You're going to rear naked choke him. It's going to finish in a twister. You're going to knock him out, or is it just I want to finish the fight healthy?
Yeah, the main goal is to win and be healthy. But yeah, always have these visions of what I think I'm going to do, and I do think I'm going to get a twister because I've had a lot of dreams about it. But we'll see on Saturday.
Well, you're awesome, man. We appreciate the time, Bryce. This was fantastic. We can't wait to see you in action coming up on Saturday, UFC 282. Get it on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. And look, man, you're doing a lot of good work. It's a joy to watch you fight. It's a joy to see what you're doing out of the cage as well. Your star is shining bright, man. Thank you for giving us some time. We really appreciate it.
Hey, God bless. Thank y'all for having me. Appreciate you guys.